Hi, you're listening to Boggy Talk, Faith Conversations in the Mud, a resource of Church on Bayshore.
Hey, welcome to Boggy Talk. Hope you're doing well.
Boggy Talk.
I'm trying to say it differently every time.
You
just
put the emphasis on talk this week.
Because we're going to talk this week.
We're not. We don't normally. We just normally bog.
Blah, blah,
we normally
blah, blah,
bog.
blah, blah. Yeah. How you doing?
Is bog a verb?
Boggy? Yeah. Is bog a verb? It can be. We can make it. You can make any. This is 2023. You can make anything what you want it to be. Bog can identify as a verb.
That's true.
So
okay,
there you go.
Bog. Yeah.
We're going to bog that up.
This is our last episode of Boggy Talk for the year because after Thanksgiving it turns into Noggy Talk.
No, yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
yes, and we
you were like, wait, what?
Like,
we're done.
Wait, we have more, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're like, not that I'm going to argue with one less thing on my plate.
That's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. But so this week is the Florida Baptist Convention and the Pastors Conference. So this is airing while we're there in Lutz,
The Pastors
Florida.
Conference is over.
Yes, praise the Lord.
I mean, we're super excited about it.
Man, it's a great thing that God allowed us to be a part of. I hope it was a great thing.
I hope so too.
I hope everything
didn't say
went really
anything
well.
really stupid.
Oh man.
And your voice didn't go when you did a song.
It's like I told the band for D Now when they were here, I was like, hey, just don't say anything really dumb that we're going to have to like explain to the church. And they didn't. So that was good. He's like, no, we'll just sing. So it's like, perfect. And hopefully we didn't say anything really dumb that our church is going to have to apologize for at the convention.
Just sing. But if you're singing about those songs, make sure you don't sing anything really dumb too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There's that.
There is that.
Yeah. And then next week is Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yes.
We're taking the week off.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Thanksgiving, mainly because we'll have some time off, but also it's just not felt like fall to me yet because of how busy things have been and activities. And Thanksgiving's a little earlier, so I feel like there's less build up to
earlier.
it. It feels a little early, so
we got a long Christmas season this year.
We do, and I cannot wait to just eat on Thanksgiving and be thankful. I want to be thankful too, but I can't wait to eat. So
you're going to be thankful for the food.
I am absolutely, and good time with family.
We got a little Thanksgiving game coming up later.
Oh, I'm excited about that. So right now, today we are talking about the Florida Baptist Convention and the Pastors Conference, kind of what it is, why we're involved, and we are holding in our hands, because they came in the mail today, 2 copies of 2,000 of the booklets that we designed and printed here for the Pastors Conference, which is very exciting. So it's 18 pages, 20 if you count the front and back cover, full detailed of everything going on. It has some pictures of people who are speaking and
I look really
involved.
pale in this picture.
I was like, do the whitewash on James.
Oh, man.
Just kidding. Actually, I think I did brighten it up because it needed to be
Why didn't you
brighter.
put under our names co-host of Boggy Talk?
That's right. I should have put a link.
Bayshore?
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was a little self-serving. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, but so we are holding the books in the hand. So let's talk about the Pastors Conference and the convention, explain what they are, why there are 2 different things happening at the same time, and why we are involved, and really why we are helping lead this year.
Yeah. So what is it?
So the Florida Baptist Convention is an annual gathering of all cooperating Baptist churches in the state of Florida. And basically it's like a mini Southern Baptist Convention without as much drama, probably.
Way less drama.
We hope. I would say the Florida Baptist Convention, it's somebody actually asked this yesterday, like what does they do? And it's a way for all the Florida Baptist churches to cooperate, to communicate, to partner together. And I would say that across our state, one, the Florida Baptist Convention is unique from other states in that it is really diverse. Not that other states don't have diversity, but the Florida
it is.
Baptist, it is uniquely, I think, diverse. And there's going to be pastors from all different backgrounds there. And that's exciting. And it just helps us be intentional in our mission cooperation, church planting specifically. If you think about our own state and the resources, like the Panhandle is probably more evangelized than some of the larger cities in South Florida.
We churchy over here.
Yeah, exactly. But so it gives us as a church the opportunity to really leverage resources for the advancement of the kingdom in places that may be harder to reach. We're talking about Miami, you talk about Tampa, bigger cities and places like that. So
that's good. That's good. Yeah.
And then the Pastors Conference happens the day and a half before the convention.
Yes.
So why Pastors Conference?
Yeah, well, real quick, the Florida Baptist Convention does only meet for a day and a half every year. And the State Board of Missions kind of runs, along with the staff, the executive director, Dr. Tommy Green, kind of the business of the convention. And I'll be on, assuming I'm affirmed, I'll be on the State Board of Missions.
I'm going to vote no. I'm like, excuse me, did you see what kind of job he did for this pastor's conference?
Oh, that just means I'm going to have to do a bunch of stuff. So no, that's what you're going to say.
That's funny.
Yeah, you're just like point discussion, James. Like you
what's
say
involved for me
across
in
the
this?
hall. I can just imagine that, like 1,000 people there. James, what does this mean?
What do I have to do?
What do I have to do?
That's right.
If you're doing this, anyway. I asked you about the pastors' conference.
And we're like, hey, this is the year to do it.
That's my wife and you.
Yep.
I don't know what that says about you.
And I think we said yes because we're like, yeah, by then we'll have all these additional staff members to help us with things.
We're getting them.
We're getting them.
They're coming.
They're coming.
Okay.
So,
anyway, so the State Board of Missions, the budget gets approved. That really guides a lot. And then, if there's any big recommendations or anything like that changes. But usually it's very minimal because we are well run and unified and not like a hot mess like the SBC. So then back that thing up. Pastors Conference is exactly what it sounds like. It's a pastors conference, not just for senior pastors, for church staff, and it's just a time
open to anybody. It's free of cost.
Yeah. It's so that's why I would say it's valuable. Like there are quote unquote better conferences in terms of like bigger name speakers, bigger budget, big worship band. No offense to any of us or anybody who's speaking. Yeah. But this is free.
Yes.
It happens every year. And there are some pastors who they don't have the budget to go to a conference.
Right.
And so they want to come to the convention. And so, and they really do kind of just blend in together. And so I just think it's incredibly valuable. So for this year, it will be, worship, several different styles of worship, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So on Sunday night, it's hosted at Idlewild Baptist Church, which is a great church in the Tampa area. And so they have orchestra and they have a choir and then they have a contemporary team. We utilized all of them and they all gave a lot of their own time to participate in it and helped coordinate with their staff. And then Monday morning, we sang just some hymns with the piano. We added some, band members throughout the day. And then, that night ended in full blown, contemporary worship band leading. So a lot of, just reflective of different styles of worship across the state. Yeah.
And I asked some speakers who I thought, some I know well, some I don't know that well, but just who I thought would be great to hear from. And so they're going to bring messages related to the theme of here and now, which was inspired by, the reality that I do think we talk a lot about, like, keep going, don't quit, all that stuff, which is needed. But it's like, okay, so what are we going to do? Like, this is where we are. Like, the culture is where we are. And so, in Acts chapter 17, right, it says it right here. I think, in Acts chapter 17, it tells us Paul's in Mars Hill in Athens, and he the Spirit is provoked within him to engage the culture. And so hopefully the same for us. So that's kind of what's happened. We're going to give some stuff away to certain pastors, not specific people. Like we actually don't know who they are yet.
We're going to draw names and call names.
Justin Wyatt.
Hey,
James Ross.
We won. Wow. How did that happen? I don't know how my name got in that bucket.
That would be funny. Like I was like, that's not Justin's birthday, is it? Because one of the ones is going to be if your birthday's that day.
Funny.
Like,
no, I'm a September birthday.
No, I realized it afterwards.
Yeah. And I think what's cool, you mentioned this before, is what's great about this is that you're going to a conference with other pastors and other leaders leading it, and all the speakers that are, throughout the pastors conference are all pastors here in the state. They're all, in different contexts.
But
that's right. Yeah. But they're all in ministry. And so it is a little different. It's kind of like, if you're on social media and there's an influencer, you're like, let me tell you these 3 easy steps to organize your life. And you're like, you literally have like paid staff to help you manage your household. So it's just unrealistic. It can feel that way when you go.
Did you see the one that was like, if you're ever on the go eating a salad and you don't have a fork, here's what you should do with a cucumber. And she like bites off the cucumber, uses the cucumber as a fork, but her kid's in the background, like flying over the seat. And then this guy comes on and is like, first of all,
so what are you doing?
When are you going to be somewhere where you don't have a fork, but you do have a cucumber randomly?
Right? And if you're on the go, do you eat a salad? That's just poor choices.
And secondly, you might want to prioritize and do something about your kid in the background. Like, anyway.
So going to conferences can feel a little bit like that when it's these big name people, or even the musicians, or like they're artists who aren't necessarily they're touring artists, not necessarily connected to the local church, and in the day in, day out, like this is life and rhythm and ministry and the grind of it all. And so you can feel like they'll give great principles or great, points and teach the scriptures well most of the time. But then you're like, but it can feel so disconnected from your real life. Like, yeah, that's easy for you to say. And I think listening to all these, the people who are going to have the platform, it's like, yeah, like that's their context, but they're living this, they're doing this. And it's so encouraging.
Yeah, man. And when you get job offers afterwards, because you will.
No, please.
You better not.
I'll be like,
you better
no,
not.
My heart's here.
People are going to hear you. People are going to hear you.
There we go. All right. Well, anything else you want to add?
You better not come into my office and say, show me the money.
I'll be like, guess what?
Show me the money.
I don't think that's
that's not you at all, if anybody knows that.
Anyway. Man. Well, anything else? What's great is our pastoral staff gets to go, which is exciting, and spend time together and help and all the things. And one of the things that we get to do too is we get coordinating the pastors conference, and every year there's an offering because the conference is free. There's an offering taken, and it goes to a ministry. And this year we are highlighting One More Child as the ministry partner. It's typically a ministry here in the state, and so One More Child actually never, to my knowledge, never been featured as the offering recipient. So it gives them an opportunity to really help churches understand what they're doing now. Because we've talked about One More Child, but it used to be Florida Baptist Children's Home, started in 1904 as an orphanage, but now does so much other
1904?
Stuff.
Wow.
1904.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Yeah, look at you, board member.
I should know that. I'm on the board. It's not 1910. That's our church.
That's our church.
1904. But it's what started as a one-child ministry in Arcadia, Florida, now has become a ministry to over 300,000 children and families worldwide. But it helps give them the opportunity to just explain the new works that they're doing in recent years, anti-trafficking work, work with single moms, family preservation, compassion ministries. And so it's an incredible opportunity for churches in the state of Florida to understand how one of the best ministries that's happening
that's what
through
I'm
the Florida
say
Baptist
when I
Convention.
talk about it. I'm going to be like, look, this is why we're doing this. Like, get engaged.
Yeah.
So I would just kind of say at the end of this, like, there's a lot of, I even got asked today in an interview, like, why SBC, right? And it's like, I get that. And almost all the critiques, level-headed critiques of the SBC are fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
What we're trying to say is there is still a lot of good happening, and we are engaged. Like, we are trying, part of being a state board of missions, leading this conference, is try to influence us to, and we're not the only ones. I mean, it's not like me and Justin are going to right the ship, but like, we are trying to say, hey, let's move this thing in the right direction. Let's respond in the ways we should. Let's support leaders. Let's hold them accountable. And so,
Yeah, and anyway. let's reach people here now for Jesus. So that's the goal.
Hopefully it went well.
Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, we may have to retract everything we just said.
But I will tell you this: I'll probably never be asked to be the president of again.
Yeah, because it's a different person every year, right?
Yeah. That's why.
That's exactly. So they every year nominate somebody, and then it just becomes somebody different, and then it rotates the location around. Last year was actually in Pensacola, which was nice for us, convenient. But this year it's in Tampa. The year we're coordinating it. So
I just figured it was going to be challenging. It's never going to be in Niceville, so it's going to be an hour and a half away from us, no matter what.
It's going to be great, or it was great. All those things. So,
questions.
All right, let's talk about some questions. First question is, what do you think about the recent what's the word? Vote that happened in
issue
Kentucky.
Number 1.
Issue number 1. Yeah, it was like it wasn't an election. It was a vote that happened. It was on the ballot. Issue number 1
to expand abortion rights.
To expand abortion rights, and specifically in like Kentucky and Ohio is where it just recently happened and is passed by a majority in these states. And basically, what it does is it does protect abortion rights in their state constitutions. So, what are thoughts on that? And I think specifically the angle on this is that this happened in states that in recent elections have voted primarily red, Republican, and so
Ohio's a swing state.
Yeah,
so,
it is a swing state, and then
forth,
the most recent election was red, I believe. But yeah, it is definitely a swing
Depending
state.
on who the more handsome candidate is.
They're you Ohioan.
They like handsome candidates. Yeah.
So, I would say one that's incredibly disheartening.
It is disheartening.
And discouraging. I would say it's definitely not what we want. It's not, I would say, given our culture right now and how everything and it's sad that abortion is tied to politics, I would say, but how everything is political, and everything political is just, it is the pendulum swing and the reaction and the overreaction. And let's just be honest, if you start digging in this, a ton of money was poured out for awareness and for to promote this election, and there was a ton of money spent in resources to promote from abortion rights advocates. So, it's just the sad reality.
Yeah. I mean, my first thought was, man, Americans really do love abortion. That was my first thought. I think that, we certainly say any of this with compassion to those who have had an abortion.
Right. Absolutely.
And specifically were in a position where they were young women and they didn't understand what they were doing. Or they weren't believers, or they were just in a situation they felt overwhelmed. They felt like they had no other option. I mean, I don't say this angrily or anything like that. However, man, there's a huge spirit of this movement that is people that just want to live their life the way they want to live their life, and don't want anything to impede upon that, even if it's becoming pregnant with a child. And they can't see past that, they really can't see past that. And so I would just say that's disheartening, but this is indicative of I think pro-lifers, which I guess I would be a pro-lifer, I'm anti-abortion, but I meant the pro-life movement. I think they thought, like, because of the overturning Roe versus Wade, like the majority of people don't want abortion. But that's not true. The majority of people want their freedom and don't want anything to impede upon their freedom. And so I think this is another example of how that our ultimate freedom that we can give ourselves is not the answer. No. It's only the freedom Christ can give us. And so that's pretty much all I got to say.
Yeah, I would just say it is discouraging, but we shouldn't lose heart, in this, and continue to advocate for life. And share the gospel. And share the gospel. That is ultimately what transforms people, and just understanding who God, the author of life, who He is, and I think we've talked about maybe having a episode where we have somebody who's a little more knowledgeable about kind of like the pro-life movement and abortion and all the things going on politically. We have a member of our church who's an advocate, very involved. We might have them on sometime just to kind of go through that. But it'll be heavy. So it will be. Yeah, but worth it, worthy. So, all right, next question is, you recently passed the budget. What are the things that passed that you're most excited about, or what are some of the exciting things that passed in our 2024 budget?
Well, yeah, significantly. I mean, personnel went up, which isn't, that part in itself doesn't excite me, because I really want us to spend more and more on missions and ministry. But the reality is, with the growth we've had, go back 6 years, we were running about 500 people, and now we're running 11 to 1,200 people, and we have smaller number of people on staff. There's been effect on our staff. And so this enables us to have really 3 more positions, maybe 4 more positions on our staff. Obviously, it takes care of our staff in an increasingly expensive area and time.
Right.
So I would say that is a significant one, which, it is going to impact our church in a healthy way. That'd be one. And then missions, maybe you could speak to that. Obviously, we still saw a big increase in missions.
Yeah. So, what that means is, because our budget increased, percentage goes to Cooperative Program. So our Cooperative Program giving increases, our amount available for church planting increases. But then specific to our missions and community outreach endeavors, we have increased support for our pastors in South Asia. We've actually been able to increase the amount of support we're offering and giving to our global missionaries, which is a great thing. Some feeding programs tied to those ministries globally. Our students going on a mission trip this summer to New York, our high schoolers to New York City to support one community church, one of the church plants we're supporting. So just exciting things there. And I think with community outreach, seeing an increased impact through Serve Day, it's just some new community engagement. We have a group that is a team that's kind of starting to engage on 7th Group through the chaplain's office, the Bible study there, and just building relationships with some of the soldiers who come to a Bible study there. Some of them are not believers. They just are willing to come to a Bible study. That's, we're providing meals and support for that. And I just think there's some things, it's just the ministries have grown, ESL's grown, and so greater resources provided for that. Benevolence increased just because there's increased need. So it is great to see our church really catch the vision of, hey, the more we give, the more we as a church can do. So that's all very exciting.
Yeah, and all ministry lines increase significantly,
except for one, worship. But
you're getting money from the overage.
Yes. So
hopefully,
we had,
there is an overage already.
Exactly.
So
There is an overage. So there are some things that we needed to meet in 2024 that, hey, we couldn't put in the budget because we do need to practice some, wise financial and stewardship practices. We can't put everything in the budget, but there will be some funds available at the end of this year to help with some of those things.
And exciting HVAC savings.
Yes.
Actually, that doesn't sound exciting, but it would be if our AC went out in the middle of the summer.
People would be like, I'm out of here. So
just think about how expensive it is to keep up our AC, thinking about your house. Of course, unfortunately, our utilities went up, our insurance is going up, all those things.
Because
we did put more money into our emergency management reserve.
Yes, because we have to have it.
Yeah, just because the number of dollars that we're spending every year is going up. So all that stuff. But it's exciting. And, I would say that, in our budget, it's about 78-22 missions and personnel, administration, all that versus missions and ministry. But we're probably about 70-30, or maybe even 60-something, 30-something when we all look at it. At 2024, that's going to maybe shift a little back in the direction we don't want it to. But
come
on. Here
we go.
The big but here, and I like that. So is that we are going to pay our debt off soon.
Yeah.
Because we only owe $594,000. We have 3 payments to make this year. So that brings it down to about $530,000 under that. And people give about $10,000 extra a month. That brings it to $500,000. And so listen, we're on track to have $700,000 up and overage. Half of that's going to debt. So we're getting close to paying this thing off.
Man, wouldn't it be awesome if it happened before the end of the year? I mean, that would be awesome.
It would happen in January.
Yeah, I know. But when it's all said and done. But
if it happened in February, I'll dance in service.
Come on, that'll just be so awesome. Because what that does, why that's exciting, one, it's exciting to be debt free. It gives more opportunity for missions and ministry, but also it helps us as a church be ready for what we believe is coming next in terms of our facilities, which we're having conversations about that, next year.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
That's
exciting. I think we have one more quick question.
And then one more quick question is, hey, we posted something on social media last week just about our some of the pastors that we support in South Asia facing some persecution and some of them being beaten and arrested. And so how are they doing? So they are okay. They did. Where are you going? What'd you drop? They are okay. There was a situation where they were sharing the gospel. There was some people who did not like them, took them to the authorities. Charges were pressed, and so they are okay.
We don't like you.
Yeah, basically, it's kind of like you're breaking the law.
You're a meanie pants.
Yeah, it's what it feels like. But basically, they're breaking the conversion laws. There's what they're claiming, and then they say no, we aren't, because the Christian faith, we are allowed and protected to practice our faith. And part of the Christian faith is we are commanded to share our faith. And so that was their defense. And so we are, trying to, talk them through some of the situations and just helping them counsel and providing some funding needed that just to help them with the fines that they're going to face. But it's worth it, for the engagement that continues to go on there. So they're okay, but continue praying. And what I was challenged by is you're talking to them on the phone. Their prayer isn't that necessarily, of course they would love the persecution to stop. They're just pray for them. Pray for them that they will see Jesus. Pray for them that they will know Jesus. Not pray that the ground will open and swallow them up, or they're just pray that they will find Jesus. So, that should be our heart. All right, so game time.
Game time, and I'm in charge.
All right.
So since we're not going to meet next week,
all right,
meat. Since we're not going to meet next week, but we're going to be eating lots of meat next week. Oh man, that was good, wasn't it?
That's right. I'm ready.
We are going to play Family Feud
Thanksgiving
edition. Okay. So I have 2 questions, but I don't know if we'll get to 2, but we'll try. So I'm going to remind you of how Family Feud works. 100 people were surveyed. And
did you do this survey, or is this a Google survey?
And no, it was real.
Okay, it's real.
And it was from Family Feud.
I used to want to be on this show so bad. This is The Price is Right.
You have to basically get all the 8, because there's 8 answers.
Okay.
Right before you get 3 wrong.
Okay.
The other team would have a chance to steal. So I steal, but I win. So I know the answer. So you have to get it
basically
right.
You're going to win.
So I got
right.
2 questions. We'll try for 2 because it's fun. So the first one is, name one dish that was not on the pilgrim's table that you will eat. So again, 100 people were surveyed. What were their answer? Name one dish that was not on the pilgrim's table that you will eat.
Cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce was the 7th most popular answer.
Okay.
3 people said that.
All right. Turkey. They didn't eat turkey, did they?
Turkey was the 8th most popular answer.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I think they ate like quail.
I'm sure they ate quail or deer.
Yeah, or each other.
Yeah.
No, that was later. That was later, right?
That was after. No, that was maybe before they didn't.
The
survive
cannibalism. Yeah, I don't know when that happened. Okay. That was in the horror movie.
That's funny.
The Thanksgiving horror movie.
Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes is not
What?
on there.
No.
I know.
Any form of potatoes isn't on this list. Come on.
No.
What?
No. Sorry.
Okay.
That's your ex.
Come on. Pilgrims, they didn't have mashed potatoes.
Okay, so far he's only got the 7th and 8th out of 8.
Okay. Dressing / stuffing.
Yes, stuffing is the 3rd most popular answer. 15 people answered that.
All right, so now we're going to get into, what different people eat. Goodness, a sweet potato casserole.
Casseroles was the number one answer.
Right. Oh, that covers a lot.
At 44 people said
they
casseroles.
didn't bake in the oven, that's for sure.
Okay, so for recapping, you've got 1, 3, 7, and 8. There are 4 possible answers. You only have 2
Pie. They
mistakes.
didn't have sweet potato, pumpkin pie.
Yes, number 4.
All right.
Pie with 13. Okay, so you need the number 2, the number 5, and the number 6.
Oh, man, I'm thinking, what could be number 2? But casseroles covered so many things. I'm going to go with, now this is something we have. Not sure if everybody has this at Thanksgiving, but I know for sure the Pilgrims didn't have this. Deviled eggs.
That was a good answer, but wrong.
Oh, come on. Oh, man.
Wrong. Good answer, good answer.
So
I should have been doing that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. We are going to have time for 2, by the way.
Gravy. They didn't have gravy.
Gravy is number 6.
Okay.
I almost gave you that when you said mashed potatoes, but I'm glad I didn't. Number 4, that was 4 people answered that. So you just need number 2 and number 5.
Oh, man. So I'm going to go with another vegetable.
Okay.
That's not a casserole.
Okay.
But I think it's pretty common. Green beans. No, is it a stretch? Is it a stretch?
No, that's not even close.
Broccoli? No.
So the number 5 answer was mac and cheese.
See, it's mac.
It's not a casserole. Come on, man. 9 people. And then the number 2 answer, I cannot believe this.
Ham?
Jello.
What? Who eats Jello at Thanksgiving?
I'm just telling you.
That is not a people. Was this survey done like in California or like I don't know?
You better watch out now.
Or Oregon or Michigan. I know some people from Michigan. They're weird. Just kidding. I love you, friends from Michigan.
Okay.
I have family in Michigan too.
I don't know who's eating Jello.
I don't know.
I think that was pre-Bill Cosby's
I mean,
fall.
there's like the
Pre-Bill
Jello
Cosby's
salad
fall.
there where the people like the whipped cream and the pretzels, which is kind of weird, but
What?
a little. Yeah, there's like you like crumble up pretzels and the whipped cream on
What's
the Jello.
ambrosia? What is ambrosia?
Nasty. That's what it is. Like
ambrosia sounds like something you get at like.
Listen, I
the
grew
candle
up in a
place.
Southern Baptist church Wednesday night dinner, and
Bath
I'm
and Body
positive
Works.
they served ambrosia for dessert at our church growing
Bath
up.
and Body Works. Okay, next one. Only one more.
Okay.
You have to name a Thanksgiving activity. Excuse me. Name an activity you do on Thanksgiving Day besides eating. There's once again 8 answers.
Okay.
And 100 people were surveyed.
Football. Watching football.
Watching football is the number 1 answer.
Sir. All right.
24
Yes.
people said that.
Okay. Besides eating, I mean, this is generic, but like getting together with family.
Yes, spend time with family was the number 4 answer. 14. You're doing good, man.
Now, when was the survay
don't
done?
know.
Okay, because the stores
There's no
used
internet
to not
stuff
open.
here.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with like shopping, but like late night Thanksgiving shopping. Is that this is before Black Friday? Like okay, well, I was trying. People do that now.
They do that. Yeah.
All right, so that's literally like.
People don't admit that in the survey.
Yeah, that's true. Nap.
Yeah.
Oh, people nap.
Nap is number 3.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I
So
like
you've got
this.
1, 3, and 4.
Okay, man. The number 2 spot. So what else do people do?
Name an activity you do on Thanksgiving Day besides eating.
Watch the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yes, Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade is number 5.
Is it? Okay, let's just be real. Isn't that like the most like, you're like, yeah, we should watch the parade. And then you watch it and you're
bored.
like, why are we watching this? The
And why is there a concert in the middle of the parade?
I know. And like all the performances are pre-taped now. It's just, I'm sure it's great, but you know.
I don't know. Dealing with all that traffic, paying 10 times what you should do
I
in a
don't
hotel
know.
room. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to get all spiritual here, and because we host a Thanksgiving Day meal here, so maybe some people volunteer.
Volunteer
for the
is
needy.
number 8. It's the last one.
Look at that.
One person
Come on,
said that.
One person. Thank
One
you.
person said that.
One person.
So you
is
just need
not
the number
selfish.
2.
Okay.
The number 6 and 7, only 2 people said it. So,
oh man. Okay.
yeah.
So gosh, what number 2 would be? It's not. We already said nap. We already said football. What do people do? That's literally all I do. And see family. Games. People play board games.
Play games is number 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
all right,
19.
Man,
So you just need number 6.
This is like putting me in the Thanksgiving
and
spirit.
number 7. I know,
I wish
right?
there were like
I know.
Thanksgiving songs.
I know.
There's not Thanksgiving
Here we go.
songs.
All right. So we got football at 1, play games at 2, nap at 3, family at 4, Macy's Day parade at 5, volunteer at 8.
What would you do?
These are both a little obscure, but people do these things. They're not like super random. Like
okay,
like get a massage. It's not anything like that.
They people do a pilgrim and a reenactment of family drama, family play.
No, I'm so sorry. That is an X.
Oh, come on.
You have 2 answers.
We have the best
and
home
1 X.
video. We have the best home video of our kids and their cousins doing a play.
Really?
And my father-in-law was before he passed, he was just all into. He actually did a green screen and like put them on the ship. It's hilarious.
And then did someone come on afterwards and be like, and now white man take over? Like,
oh man, it's so funny. It's
like
so,
it was like the modern version of like how it all went down.
Yeah,
right?
basically.
Like, yeah.
All right, so here we go. Numbers. I have nothing else to offer in this.
One of them you'll be like, oh man, I should have thought of that.
I've covered everything that we do, so I've got nothing. Decorate for Christmas.
That's a great answer.
But it's not there.
It's wrong.
Oh,
yeah.
Because now we do that like the day after Halloween. So.
Number 7 is go to a movie.
Oh,
and I do hear people do
we,
that.
We did that growing up. Yeah, we don't go to movies anymore.
Yeah,
'cause it's
and
so
then
much,
number
but-
6 is participate in a turkey trot or like a run.
Okay, yeah.
Isn't that a big thing in Atlanta? Isn't that on Thanksgiving Day?
There is one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have known that. You're from Atlanta.
Yeah, but we didn't do turkey trots. We played football.
This
or
isn't
watched
what
football.
do the Wyatts
That's true.
do.
But that's all I can
This is
think
what
of.
do other people.
But I mean,
I know there's 100 people in your house.
That's
but,
right.
But they don't.
Serving my kids, I'll be like, oh,
hey, that was pretty good.
Hey,
that was pretty good game, right?
All right, I like that.
Thanks,
I
man.
like Family Feud.
Thanks.
Man, I used to play that game on our computer, and I used to want to be on that game. I was, and I would think, which members of my family.
We should do that for the Christmas party.
Oh, yes. Staff Christmas party. We should play
Yes.
Family Feud. I'll tell Emily. She's in charge of games this year.
Oh,
so
no, don't
I won't
don't let her do it.
But
'cause
she
I'm gonna do
listens
it.
to Boggy Talk, so now
I'm going to do
Emily.
it whenever I'm in charge.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
it'll be a while because our rule for the staff is like the newest person has to do the games, and she's
We
not the
started that
newest
after
person,
I
but
was
it's
the newest person.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but she didn't get a chance last year because I forget who did it last year. Was it Al?
Bob did it last year.
Bob
didn't
did
he?
it last year.
Wait, no.
I don't know. Anyway, there's like a running because we have so many new people. So
Yeah,
there you go. Well, hey, thank you for listening. We hope you have
Clarity,
a wonderful.
people aren't like quitting and
No,
getting
it's just
fired
the staff
either.
is
It's
growing.
just-
Yeah, the
staff's
staff's
growing.
been, yeah. So, yes, exactly. And we're thankful for
Man,
that. So,
we're just going through them
hey,
like-
we hope you have a wonderful
Like James is going to go through turkey on Thanksgiving.
Oh, man. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. Hey, have a wonderful Thanksgiving week. And we look forward to seeing you for Noggy Talk in December.
Thanks for listening to Boggy Talk. We are so glad you joined in the conversation. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss a beat.